Lovetta was a single mother and teacher, raising three children by the name of JT, who was 12, Jarrett, who was 9, and Jasmine, who was 6. She eventually ran across Gary Green and fell in love. Unbeknownst to Lovetta, Gary had a long criminal history. As a teen, he stabbed one girlfriend, another, and even shot his pregnant girlfriend until she fell unconscious. The pictures of his pregnant girlfriend were startling. In the photos, her eyes were bloodshot from the pressure of being shot, and her neck showed ligature marks. Thankfully, all of his girlfriends survived. In 1989, he was arrested for possession of cocaine and sentenced to 4 years probation. In 1990, he was arrested for aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon. He was sentenced to 20 years, but was obviously let out before then. Lovetta and Gary continued their relationship, and one flag stood out to me. In the documentary, You Asked to See the Monster, JT and Jarrett describe how Gary hit them often as a form of discipline. Jerry stated that he was struck so hard he thought his arm was broken. Despite the abuse he placed on the boys, he never hit Jasmine.
And did he ever strike you or your brother?
Not with his fist, only with belt. And it wouldn't be just the butt. It would be however he wants to swing, that's how he swings.
And would it hurt?
Yeah. If it hits you on your face, you get hit in your face. That's just how it was.
And that was a red flag to me because I don't think people should come into your relationship and you have children already and they discipline them in a form of abuse. You know, one thing to discipline children verbally by saying, no, don't do that, or by telling the custodial parent, but not to abuse them. In August of 2009, Gary and Lovetta married, but she quickly realized she made a mistake and wanted an annulment. By September, Gary was no longer living in the house. Per Jasmine's father, Ray Montgomery, he dropped his daughter off the day before her murder. He claimed his daughter did not want to go, but he didn't think much of it. He thought it was typical for a child not to want to leave their parent. Sometime before the events of September 21st, Gary admitted himself to Timberlawn Mental Hospital. He called his mother and told her that he wanted to go to sleep and never wake up. He remained at the hospital for 5 days and was eventually picked up by Lovetta. On September 21st, 2009, Lovetta wrote a letter to Gary stating that she wanted to end their marriage. In the letter, she states, "Gary, I know you think that this was all some kind of plot to get revenge on you, and because of me, you have no backup plans, or as you say, no other bridges. As much as I want to believe we can work, I know we can't. I know you love me and I love you, but it's time we part. I think you were right when you said the timing wasn't right. I want you to get on your feet where you can have your own place and ain't got to depend on no woman. I want a lot of things to change in my life as well. I want to love me more and be a better mama, so I don't have to depend on nobody else for my happiness. Love always, Lovetta." So I'm not sure how they did this exchanging of letters. It seemed like Lovetta left hers first, but was she still in the house when Gary came to read it? Or was she out of the house? I'm not sure. But this was one of Gary's responses to her letter. "Lovetta, you made me lose everything. When we had broke up and I moved before you, the kids went upstate. You said, if I ever let you come back home, I'll have to marry you. So I did. 2 weeks later, I lost my truck behind being with you. Someone else, another woman, helped set it all up. But I didn't care about that so much because I know we had each other. But all along, you had other plans. You see, you make all this bullshit we've been through is on me, but you are the reason why I am homeless. You had made plans to divorce me behind my back, and plus we haven't even been married for 90 days. Lovetta, you telling me to get out of your house, and we are married at that for only 1 month. I was working, got me a truck because you said you were going out of town for a week, which you popped on me at the last minute, saying we're going out of town for a week, yourself and the kids, so I would have to find me a way to work and back for a week. You see, you could just leave me without transportation and let your cousin drive all the way down here from Houston, her and her son, to get in the car with you and your kids, which is bullshit. Bullshit. When I married you, I didn't do no wrong by you for you to act this way to me. Linnell was a woman who really did love me unconditionally, and you took that from me." Lovetta then responded, "I should have let you stay gone, not for the reason you feel, but because I already had doubts about us. but I thought if we got married, it would erase those doubts, and it didn't. I am not trying to hurt you, but I have to do what's best for me. I love you, but you got to go today." To which Gary told her he would kill everyone, including himself. He wrote, "You asked to see the monster, so here is the monster you made me. There will be 5 lives taken today, me being the 5th. Gary then attacked Lovetta, stabbing her a total of 30 times. Lovetta was able to stab Gary twice in the back, but eventually succumbed to her injuries. Her autopsy showed she was also asphyxiated with bruising around her neck. The medical examiner would later claim that each of those 30 stab wounds were fatal. Next, he grabbed her 6-year-old daughter Jasmine and dropped her in the bathtub after wrapping her legs and arms with duct tape and a telephone cord. The murders from start to finish lasted 4 hours. Lovetta's sons were at church during the crime and were picked up by Gary, which they thought was strange. In the documentary, they claimed their mother always picked them up. Gary told JT to shower, and Jared went to his bedroom. Gary called Jared to the kitchen and covered his mouth. He then grabbed a butter knife and attempted to cut Jared's throat. After that, he grabbed another knife and tried to stab the young boy, but the blade broke. In an interview with Child Forensics, 9-year-old Jared told them God broke the knife so that I could stay alive.
And then he tried to cut my head off, but he accidentally used the wrong side of the knife.
He used the wrong side of the knife.
Then the knife broke.
The knife broke. Did the knife touch you?
Yes, that's why I got all these scars on my neck.
That's why you got all those scars on your neck. Okay. How come the first knife broke?
Cause God broke it for me so I could stay alive.
Okay. Did he do anything else to you while in the kitchen besides this on your neck? Did he do anything else?
Yeah, he stabbed me.
Where did he stab you at? It's okay. You can see.
Right there.
Right there. That in the belly?
Gary was able to grab another knife and stab Jared in the stomach as Jared screamed for help. By the time JT heard the screams, Gary was dragging Jared to the bathroom and threw him against the toilet. A struggle ensued between JT and Gary, which also resulted in JT being cut. Jared told Gary, "Please don't kill us. We are too young to die." Gary asked them, "Why should I keep y'all alive?" To which Jared told them, "We are just kids." He then told the children he had to show them something while trying to stick a knife in the back of Jared's neck. So while he was going to show them whatever he had to show them, he held a knife to the back of Jared's neck. He then took the boys to see their mother deceased in her bedroom. JT states he ran to his mother and kissed her while crying. He told the boys he had to kill her because he loved her and he didn't want her to divorce him. He also asked them if she was cheating or texting anyone. Next, he led them to the bathroom. There, they saw their bounded sister next to the tub. After changing his clothes, he told the boys not to call police until he left. JT called police and carried his little brother to his neighbor's house.
Hello? Hello, this is Dallas. Hello? Let me speak to another person in the background so I can understand what's going on. Let me speak to your little brother so he can tell me. Let me speak to your little brother. Okay, do you guys need police or paramedics? What's going on? What's going on? Do you need police or paramedics? What's going on?
I'm real bad.
Do you need police?
Yes.
Okay, what's happening? The reason why you need...
The neighbor went over to their house to investigate, and unfortunately she did see Lovetta deceased on the floor, and she told the 911 responders that she was not going to go in any further. She was leaving the house because she was scared.
I don't want to touch nothing. Don't touch nothing, okay? I don't want to touch nothing. You're inside of 3844 now? Yes, ma'am. I'm leaving back out. She's not breathing. I'm just so purple. Not breathing? No, ma'am. Who's not breathing, the mother or the 6-year-old? The mother. I can't even find the 6-year-old. I'm scared to be in here just in case she comes back because I don't know what's going to happen. Oh, my God. He's so cute.
After driving away, Gary ingested Tylenol and Benadryl in an attempt to harm himself. He then spoke with his mother, who convinced him to turn himself in. Hours later, he did. In his confession, Gary stated he first bound Jasmine in the room before carrying her to the bedroom where Lovetta was. Then he stabbed Lovetta multiple times while Jasmine watched on. After he was done with Lovetta, he took Jasmine to the bathroom, filled the tub with water, and held her underwater until she died. His defense attorney claimed that Gary's grandmother suffered from mental illnesses and that his mother was not attentive to him. They also mentioned that Gary's father abused his mother and himself. He had an uncle who killed his wife and then himself, so they were trying to portray that he had a history of mental illnesses due to his family's history. In middle school, Gary threatened to jump off a building but was talked down by his aunt. As a child, Gary also bit a snake's head entirely off. He often spoke about not wanting to live and had episodes of depression, agitation, and irritability. The defense claimed Gary also suffered mental illness and had an IQ in the 70s. He was diagnosed with paranoid personality disorder, depressive personality, antisocial personality, avoidant personality by Dr. Martinez, who I assume was hired by the defense. The prosecution brought up Gary's past and history of violence and claimed his IQ was in the 100s. Gary was found guilty on October 28, 2010 and sentenced to death by lethal injection. In his final statement, he said, "I apologize for all the harm I have caused you and your family. I'm sorry I failed you. There's nothing I can do. I ask that you forgive me, not for me, but for y'all. Sorry, JT. I always loved you and told you I will never say goodbye, but this is goodbye. One thing about the man I used to be is that I never stopped loving y'all. See y'all on the other side. God bless you. I'm done, Warden." Gary was executed on March 7, 2023. Marriage does not fix all problems. If you have problems before, it's best to get those straightened out before you get married. It will only amplify the problems. Also, if you meet a man who isn't hesitant about beating your children because they need discipline, I believe that's a red flag as well. Jerry stated that he felt Gary was a father figure to him. While his other siblings had fathers, he did not, and truly loved Gary. I always wondered why Jared and JT's life was spared. I'm glad it was spared, but I always wondered why Gary did not carry out his final act. He told the mother that he was going to end everybody's life, so I'm wondering if, them being at church helped. I just think that's kind of ironic. They came from church and they're the ones that survived. And do you agree with the death penalty? Let me know. And may Lovetta and her daughter Jasmine rest in peace.